Everybody, I am Juno Fox, and today we're going to watch me trying to create a Generation 6. I really love MLP's Generation 4, and I wanted to make my own kind of Generation 6 for it. I like the way that Generation 5 did in certain things, like kind of how we see more like anatomy wise than just like the blocky legs for Gen 4. As you can see, I kind of just made a little bit of a kind of gothic rarity over here for this, and I wanted it to be still the big eyes, small mouth, big ears, big head, the kind of bobbly head thing. So I feel like I did more of like an anatomically kind of correct pony versus just kind of blocky in shape and stuff like that. I haven't got to do a voiceover speed paint, so bear with me. I did not script anything. I'm just going in it. This took me several days, and I wanted to give you guys more of a very detailed My Little Pony design. I did a couple head shots that I forgot to record for this part, but they weren't very good, and this was honestly the only one that looked good. And one of them actually kind of looked more like Generation 4 than its own thing. And this, I wanted it to kind of look like its own thing while still looking like My Little Pony and from Gen 4 and Gen 5. So I decided to redo the hair because I was like, I don't want to sit and look at rarity. I want to have this as a clean base for the next couple ponies. And I decided to take from Generation 1, 2, and 3, I believe. I could be wrong about some of them, but I decided we should have 3 main female ponies and 3 main male ponies. And I did make the sizes of the species different instead of making them all the exact same size, which I get why they did. It was easier to animate that way, but this is just concept art, so this is nothing that would be considered a final design. This is still something that, even though I've finalized designs, it wouldn't technically be considered a finalized design. It would be partially through of what a finalized design would look like, because it would still need to be revised over and over and over and over. So as much as I like this concept art, there's a high chance that if this was for Hasbro and it was going to be an actual thing, it would still be changed for a final design. And I chose some of my favorite ponies from the earlier generations, which Sky Dancer is my favorite from Generation 1, and she's yellow. I just think she's really cute. I know that I didn't include all the species of pony that was made for Generation 1, but I did include some of them, and I might do a second video. I'm thinking over Skyros because that wasn't a thing before Generation 5. As you can see, I used Fizzy. I chose Cotton Candy from Generation 3. Fizzy and Sky Dancer are from Generation 1. Something about them just, I just love them. I think that they're just the cutest, and it took me a while to figure out how I wanted Cotton Candy's hair. Look at it. I just left her bald for a little bit. I was sitting here so hard thinking, what can I do with her hair without her looking over the top? Because I think I gave Fizzy more of that very flowy kind of almost Twilight look. Sky Dancer has more of that rugged kind of Rainbow Dash feel, and then I didn't want her to just be like a Pinkie Pie or be like a rarity. I wanted her to kind of be her own thing, so her eye shape does change. I do change the eye shapes of these ponies so that they have more of their own feel to them. I don't know if I really like Cotton Candy's final design. I'd probably change it. If I did this again, I'll probably change it because I didn't really care for that. I did start making the stallions here because I feel like they really need to have their own feel as well, just like they do for all the generations. I was actually surprised. I didn't know this, but there were Generation Male 1 ponies. I just thought that they only started doing that for Generation 4. I was wrong. They started doing that for Generation 1, but the male ponies were kind of very bland and basic, so I do try to change them because I believe that we could have more diversity with our male ponies. We don't really have much, and I did make it to where the male ponies are obviously a little bit bigger in stature than the female ponies, but I really wanted it to still feel like it could happen. Would this happen? Probably not. Hasbro will probably do something silly. I don't like the animation style of Generation 5's 2D look for the YouTube series. I don't really like that, and what I've done I wouldn't say is like the best, but if it could happen for Gen 6, that would be great. I want Generation 6 to go back to the 2D platform, which 2D can cost more, but it's a lot more appealing and it grabs the viewer's attention a lot better, in my opinion, than cheap 3D does. 3D can look amazing if you do it right. And so far, I haven't seen it done right except for maybe Paw Patrol. And that's really just for little kids. That's not for everybody. I liked Generation 4 because it was for everybody and not just a set group. And I guess we're going to move on to the male ponies. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. I just really want to talk about it. I did feel like we should, at first, I thought maybe 2 male main ponies, but then I thought, why not 3? So we're gonna do 3. We're just gonna go out on a limb here and we're gonna do 3. So these obviously are just the sketches before I start really getting into the detail. I wanted to have everything kind of sketched out because that's how it really starts. You sketch it out, you kind of sketch everything out before you get deep into these designs. Thundercloud, Ice Crystal, and Fireball were my chosen ones. They don't really look similar to their original counterparts as much as I would like for them to, but I had to make them still different because I remember that when Generation 4 was happening, she had to change up the designs of the ponies to make them more of their own thing because after so long, companies lose rights to certain things, and that's what's happening here. I made all the Pegasus smaller than the regular sized ponies, and all the unicorns I made them tall, and I feel like it's just because unicorns have probably the most magical power. So, and I didn't mean Skycatcher, I meant Starcatcher. My brain was thinking about Sky Dancer whenever I was doing this, and I was going to make her a descendant of Princess Celestia. However, I decided against that because I made a king My Little Pony alicorn because I think a male alicorn just it needs to happen. It can't forever just be the female ponies. I think it has to happen. And I do want to go more in depth on Skyros because I feel like now that Queen Starcatcher is this pony's name, that I feel like she should be specifically from Skyros. So she has a different lineage than the next alicorn does, which I feel like for this modern generation, maybe there is a king and a queen that rule over all of Equestria now, and I'm doing this as after Sunny Star Scout and her friends. This is after all that, which I love what they kind of did with Sunny, but I don't at the same time, I don't understand it, and I feel like there's just a lot of plot holes and stuff missing from Generation 5. They have this idea where they're going with it and it's good, but it's not being executed in the best way, and I think it's just like the writing, because the writing was great for Generation 4. I wouldn't say every bit of it was awesome and that there wasn't things left unaddressed, because there are, but I feel like there could have been more to do with Skyros than what we got, and we didn't really get what we did from Skyros. I need more. I have to understand that more before I can say, hey, this pony's from Skyros. Because apparently Celestia and Lunar are from there, but that didn't happen in Generation 4. Like, why are you leaving that out, Hasbro? Come on now. But I really like Starcatcher, and I believe she's from Generation 3. And I feel like they could have used her for Generation 4. I just know they could have. They used Gusty to be Gusty the Great, which so I felt like, come on, you had a chance. So I'll use her. Maybe they'll use her in Generation 6. That would be awesome if they did. I doubt that they will, but it would be awesome if they did, because Starcatcher's so pretty. She's literally one of the prettiest ponies I've ever seen, and I will take that to the grave with me. I think that she could have been more of like a royal type with how just specific her design is. She could have been. Now, this isn't the finalized design for Starcatcher either. I do change this up as we go. So like I said, I'm sketching everything out. I want it to be sketched out first and then come back over it, finalize it. That's why my art takes so long, is because I want to keep going over it and try to make it as, I wouldn't say perfect, but as close to perfect as I can get. I did make her hair really wispy on this, but I decided against so wispy after a while because it just feels like it'd be really hard to animate that way. As a person who previously animated, it would be, unless you're taking this and turning it into a 2D rigged puppet, then you have some leeway, but still, it can be quite difficult to animate something like. And I wanted this queen, because I feel like there can't just be the princess, there has to be a queen. Just like how we have Queen Chrysalis, we need the queen for this as well, which I feel like there must be a queen for Skyros, right? I'm not just gonna go off and say it's just Luna and Celestia. There has to be a real queen for this, I think. I do really love how I made Starcatcher in the end. There's some things I'd probably go back and change, as these are just considered concept art because that's what I do. Besides teaching art, I do concept artwork for Dynobite Softworks, and I don't know, I'm not used to having to talk this much about my art, so I'm hoping you guys can enjoy this a little bit. Kind of just realized right there that it was star and not sky after a second. I did have this whole idea of making this kind of like fancy on her rump, but then I thought we need to simplify it a little bit. Every time I do concepts, I tend to make them more difficult and over the top than they actually should be. But I also decided on making the king now. He was going to be Nightlight, and then I realized Nightlight is Twilight's dad, so that would be really confusing. I wonder if the ponies ever accidentally use the same names over and over again without realizing it through generations. But I believe he came out to be Sunstorm, and I did actually make him as descendant from Celestia for this, though it took me a minute to figure out how I wanted him. He actually kind of just looks like Obsidian for a second. I had Obsidian on the brain because I was working on part 14 of the Infection AU, but I'm going to try to do more commentary speed paints like this, kind of help me get used to it. So if there's something specific that you guys want me to do, let me know. I will do it. Maybe. Depends on what it is. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I'd like to do more of this. And Generation 6 was... I'm really looking forward to Generation 6. I at first didn't like Generation 4, then I gave myself a chance and now I like it. I still can't really enjoy Generation 5. There's just something about it besides the writing. I don't know. I did like the early concepts for Generation 5 before they decided on their finals. I liked what it was before. Sometimes the concept art was right. I don't know who greenlit a lot of the stuff, but I didn't like it. But I guess I'll talk a little bit more about the art, not just about how I hate Generation 5. But the more I kept trying to draw this horn, the more I got mad at it. Look how big it is. Why did I do that? Why is it so big on his head? Why did I think that was smart? Look at me trying to fix it. It took forever to fix this. And I do all of my art on a small mobile app that you can get on your phone. It's called IBIS Paint X, and I draw with my fingers, so sometimes I mess up when I'm drawing because there's not a lot of control with your finger, but there is, if that makes sense. But as you can see, I thought about making him King Nightlight, which toward the end of his design, I really start to actually hate how I made this pose, so I will change it later on. I don't know what I thought I was going to do with this. I just felt the nightlight in this one and gave him very skinny legs. For some reason, I gave him extremely skinny legs. Like, those would break off probably under his weight. I wanted him, like, I don't know, I feel like the alicorns give me the, I'll call it Teke horse vibes, and sometimes a little bit of, like, Arabian mixed in there. That's what it feels like whenever I see them. But I'm not going to say I'm a perfect artist. I still have a lot to change up and do. I haven't been doing My Little Pony for too long. I used to be really bad at the My Little Pony art, but I just kept pushing hard into it, and I see people say that I've inspired them to do art and try harder, which I love that. I want everybody to try hard and do as good as they can. As you can see, I'm not perfect. Look at my sketch. It's terrible. I don't know why I thought I could make this look better this round. Something in my brain was like, if I just go over it a couple more times, it will look better. That was a lie. It actually kept looking worse. Like, what is with that leg? Why is it so thick like that? Why? And I don't know why I put the shoulders up that high. I don't know what I was doing here. I was a little sick during this, and I kept falling asleep randomly while I was doing this. COVID was kicking my butt. I kept falling asleep while trying to draw him. Like, whenever my lines or something start to not make sense or drag on, I was literally falling asleep. For one reason or another, I was falling asleep. Don't know what I thought I was doing. Look at these legs, they're so bad. I'm embarrassed to say that that's my art. Look at it, what am I doing? Now he doesn't have a slanted back, he has extremely straight back. I don't promise you. I thought I was smart, with this, and I don't think I was, but he ends up kind of just looking like a weird looking obsidian to me. I don't like this at all. So glad that I changed this, because if I would have left this as like a final concept, I would hate it, every last bit of it. I thought folding his wings would make it look better, but somehow that actually makes it look worse. The only part I like is the mane and tail. This just looks fun. Looks like a little cosmic kind of thing, which I do decide, yes, later on, that this is not going to be it. And I feel like bat ponies, they have to be a species now, because Fluttershy could do it. So why can't we just have a species of bat ponies? They can, I feel like they could be a nuisance to farmers, but at the same time, what if they just attack really old orchards and they get their sustenance that way? I mean, I'm just saying. If someone has a better idea, throw it out there. Don't be afraid to throw some ideas out there. I can draw some of the ideas, and it helps me as an artist do better. So if you're like, hey, this could have been better on this one, just tell me. I want to know. I want to get better. Every artist wants to get better. I've been drawing for 20 years, but that doesn't mean that I can't get better. So help me get better. And support my channel, please, because I love making art content for you guys, and I want to keep doing that. I haven't been able to do it full time, and I'm worried that I won't be able to, but I am definitely trying very hard for this. And for some reason, I was thinking of Daring Do when I colored her, but that does change, so don't worry, she doesn't become a Daring Do. But I do like to have small concepts next to the ponies sometimes. Obviously, I didn't do all of them. That kind of gives like this kind of general idea of them. I did change that last sketch right there. It could have been better, but it wasn't. And someone really asked me for flutter ponies. I cannot remember the name, but I decided to make the flutter ponies. I made them smaller than Pegasus at first, and I kind of just made them a carbon copy of the other ponies, but that does change. They do become taller, bigger, leaner. And someone goes, well, it looks like a breezy, but the breezies are very small, tiny creatures, and I don't want these to just be breezies, because in the original series, they weren't tiny little creatures like that. They were actually full grown. So here I am just retrying this again, and I'm gonna keep retrying it a few times, because I don't like it. I don't like that it's just a pony with butterfly wings, like Rarity in that one episode. I don't like that, so I do change this again. I can't really explain how to draw certain things the way I do, but I think maybe in another video I could show you guys how to draw in Generation 4's movie style from 2017. I think that could be fun. Trying to figure out where I am in this now. Okay, I went back over her. I wanted to do that. Okay, that makes sense. I wanted to redo this a little bit and give her more of an expression. Makes sense. I think this is where I start going over all my drawings and trying to make them more developed and defined than what they are. I gave her more of a longer snout so she didn't just look like a straight up Celestia. It's really hard for not make an alicorn look like Celestia, just because they kind of did that with Twilight. I didn't like Twilight's full on alicorn form, but I did like the idea of her having more of like this kind of curved looking horn. That just felt right. And I did redo her design on her chest piece, I think. I think I did it with hearts, and I took away the big fluffiness in her feet. And maybe that's something that you guys like. I might bring that back, but it's just artist preference. And again, even at the end of this, when they look finalized, I still feel like they're not. So I may redo them again. I don't know. But I will like to know which one was y'all's favorite. I did keep redoing that hoof because I realized that anatomically that was just weird. And now it looks a little better. Don't be afraid to use like a lot of references though if you're going to do something like this. I looked at a lot of Gen 3, a lot of Gen 4, Gen 2, that wasn't really even generation, but it was. I took a lot of inspiration from those, and I spent hours on Pinterest looking over ponies and working on their styles, design. I did think that I was going to do stuff with stars, but then I realized even though she's Starcatcher, on her rump there's a really big heart, so I chose that. But I did add stars with the hearts to kind of make sense with her theme, which is hearts and stars. But Yeah, go to Pinterest. I think that's the best place for a lot of references. Don't be scared to use references. As someone who does this kind of stuff for a living, references are your best friend. Don't be scared of references. Even if you are referencing from another artist, try not to heavily reference, but kind of take everything, make mood boards, collages, and sit on it, look at it, and then really dive deep into that. Because like I said, I changed up a lot of what I did. I think right here I just changed his pose and stance and everything like that. Actually, yeah, I do. I think so. Oh, I gave him an extremely curved horn. Jesus. Could stab somebody with that thing. Let's see. No. Yes, I am redoing him right here. See how it's okay to just like mess up? It's not going to be perfect. You're gonna just have to really push yourself. Try. See how I elongated his jaw and his mouth? I kind of gave him more of that. Kind of looks like an alligator at first, in my opinion. But yeah, push yourself. Especially when you're creating your own style, that's very difficult, as you can see, with me making my own kind of style for this My Little Pony Generation 6. That's a lot of work. It's hard, and it's hard not to mess it up. So it's not perfect, and it could be better, but I feel like there's a lot that could be done with Generation 6 that we didn't get for Gen 4, Gen 5, but they can't be scared to give us so many seasons. Like, don't be scared to go 12 to 15 seasons, Hasbro. Just do it. Give us the lore that we want and keep growing off of it, because you did it right for Generation 4. Generation 5, you kind of failed. You gave us new lore that didn't exist before, and now it's kind of hard to fill plot holes. But as you guys can see, I redid his design. I kind of took her and brought her over because I loved how I drew her. Her legs, her face, all of it. And I kind of wanted to do something similar with him, but not make him exactly like her because that would be really weird considering I wanted them to be married. And I feel like Skyros, every one of those ponies are born as alicorns and not just regular ponies because that would be a little weird because I still don't understand Flurry. I still don't understand Flurry. And maybe Flurry is existing somewhere. Like, I don't understand why we didn't go from Generation 4's Twilight to Generation 5 being about Flurry Heart, stuff like that. Like, why did we just try to do what we've already done? And yes, I did change his name, don't worry, it's not just King Nightlight again. I do change it a couple times trying to pick the best name. I think that's what I sat here trying to do, was thinking of a really good name. That's why there's just this long, endless stretch of nothing. Yep, here we go. Looking at him. Of course. Took forever again, no. Sunstorm, yes. And I decided he should be a descendant to Celestia. I do make quite a big, like, sun print on him. Again, this is my first time doing commentary over one of my speed paints, so sorry if it's kind of all over the place. My ADHD does not help, kind of bouncing from one thing to another. I didn't give them crowns, I just didn't. I don't have a reason, I just didn't. I'm not gonna try to make up a reason, I just didn't want to. But yeah, here's his big sun. I think he looks better like this, and I think his final design's pretty nice. I think I made his wings too light on his final design. I went back and forth looking at everything to make sure that's how I wanted it. As you can see here, I think this is, yeah, I start the sea ponies because I didn't want just hippocampus. I wanted full-on sea ponies. Give me sea ponies. And I don't know why. I feel like they'd all would be kind of unicornish. Maybe. I feel like there are some normal ones, some unicorn ones, some Pegasus ones, but yeah, I don't know. I seen a picture of a customized sea pony. It looked really cool, and it made me want to bring sea ponies into this. Kind of tried to push the more seahorse look to them to give them that longer snout and stuff. Kind of how they did the hippocampus, but without it just being a hippocampus. Obviously, didn't give her a mermaid fin, gave her the regular seahorse fin, because that's what the originals had, and I kind of wanted to keep to that. I'm thinking of the fact that I'm probably going to have to ask Draga to help me edit this. Oh no. She has edited a lot of my videos because I cough and wheeze and crap like that during these videos. I don't know why, I can't help it. Sometimes I just breathe a little too hard too, or make weird noises, and she's been awesome helping on that. I'm hopefully just going to post this video as is because I don't want to bother her. I do want to acknowledge the fact that I made a bunch of ponies with a bunch of different manes for the sea pony, and then I did not draw any of them. And yes, this is kind of where I decided to restart my look for the flutter ponies. I made them tall and like lanky, but they're not near as tall as the alicorns. They are, however, more like you know, the Arabians from Generation 4, that's kind of what I was thinking for them. And I do think that the ponies should have more like actual horse patterns to them. Though I didn't put any in this, it may be something I do later on and change up some designs. But I feel like we had that happen in a few of the generations where there was a pony that looked more like a regular horse or pony, and then they just kind of skipped out on us. I did give her like a Twilight haircut, because at first it almost went back to rarity. I keep giving everything a rarity haircut without trying. So I decided we'll just give her this kind of look-alike for Twilight haircut. And I did change that hairband into a bow later. I just think the bow looked better. But yeah, here is a flutter pony for you guys, because someone asked for a flutter pony, so we did bring those back. I started drawing on this, and then I was like, you know what? I can't just make it into a base. I've got to like draw each one specifically. So here we is. We are. But yeah, there's that big up in the air eyebrow that I love so much. And I did use Fizzy's original design to kind of go over this. And as you can see, it did change shape for a few things. Fizzy's was more round and Skydancer's was more sharp, and then for Cotton Candy, her eyes were more like droopy, kind of like Fluttershy's. I don't know why I thought like I could make it look really cool, but I did not. I would actually go back and change her face because I feel like I was somewhere with that and then I kind of fell off of it. I thought that I could make it look really good, but I just made it look worse. I should have left that tilted the way it was because now it's too tilted in compared to the other ones. It's way too tilted in. But yeah, I'd probably redo Cotton Candy. I seen a picture of her G3 work and she just looks so cute. I couldn't help it. I was like, I have to have her. And I kind of tried to make her a Strawberry Roan look in this because I did like that G5 was kind of leaning into giving them like stripes on their face and stuff like that. So, but I do feel like that Fizzy would be like the main kind of character in this. Of course, be a unicorn. I don't know why I would change it to be anything else, but yeah. I thought she looked really cute like this. I decided a lineless style instead of line work because, again, Gen 5 with their lineless intro style was actually really nice and kind of refreshing to look at. It didn't feel boring like I had originally intended for that to look. I think I was making sure that I didn't screw this up. And whenever you're doing the lineless style, just kind of block out the design over the top of the sketch like I did here. Just block it out. Anyone can do lineless because lineless, it seems daunting, but it's really easy and it's really fast to do. Compared, it's really fast. I tried to make Fizzy with that kind of crazy hair she's got going on. I like how it kind of looks like choppy and stuff. I thought that was cute. So it's kind of what I did with them. Kind of gave her and Skydancer the choppy look. I don't know why I didn't follow through with that on Cotton Candy, but I should have. I feel like they would have to have their names changed possibly for this, but I could be wrong. First, I almost gave her the white, like, yeah, I almost did white, and then I realized it's kind of creepy. So I went back to just like a darker red. And I usually work in lineless. Like, lineless is my thing, so working in line art feels weird, but this feels natural, comforting to me. And I really like how it came out. The swirls kind of like G5 does, but this is where it starts to look nice and pretty to me. Took a minute. But I really love the way I did Fizzy. I think she is probably my favorite. And of course, yes, she was the first one, but I think she's my favorite. And it does something different with the eyes. It's not just like purple or blue, it's different. I wanted things to be different. I don't think I put enough effort into the male ponies though that I could have put in. And I did not do any let me think, cutie marks for this because I just kind of wanted to look at the concepts themselves without the cutie marks on top. I might do a video of just making cutie marks for the next one if that's something you guys want to see. But here comes Sky Dancer, my favorite, and I realized that a lot of Gen 1 princesses, there were a lot. They all had dragons. Most of them had dragons, it seems. And it seems like none of those dragons grew up, so I don't know. Spike is one of my favorites though. And I do try to change the facial expression of these ponies, and I love again G5 did some cool things like the feathering for a Pegasus on the feet. I love that, and I wish they would have kept it because man, it looks good on Sky Dancer. Sky Dancer need more love, and there were these things called the rainbow ponies, but they were all they were all Pegasus, so I stuck to that. And yes, there were the gem-eyed ponies, which is what Fizzy was, but I turned her into a regular unicorn. Excuse me, don't come at me for it. But I feel like this gives some vibrancy, some freshness, and design elements to it. So it's not just like one or two colors, you're getting more. And I think that these could be appealing for like toys or something. And maybe that'd be where you have a big audience at, is making these as toys. If I could make them as toys right now, I would. I wish I could do stuff for Gen 4. I did try to put all of her color on her feet, and that did not look good. I think I'd go back and just do pink, because, again, I'm gonna say it again, Gen 5, they did something good there. So I'm not saying Gen 5 was bad, because I had some really cool ideas, but I feel like it's the writing. It's the writing for me. Now, when the ponies look cute and have all this, like, color and stuff to them, I love it. I love the detail. I love the over-the-top look. And yes, simple is usually better because the character's more memorable that way, but something about them looking good like this to me. I can't remember if I stopped her at just blue eyes. I think I did. Yeah, I stopped at blue eyes. And now this is cotton candy, and I'm not really happy with how she looks because I love her design, her early design in G3. She gives me more Pinkie Pie idea than Pinkie Pie does. I kind of wish I had done that swirly kind of look with her mane before, so I may redesign her if that's something you guys want to see. But yeah, it's really hard to talk for almost an hour. It's roughing my voice out. I might do a commentary video again, I'm not sure. But yeah, Generation 6, it could happen. I don't know if Generation 6 will happen anytime soon, but it'd be cool if I was close. I highly doubt I'm close to what they're going to do. But yeah, this would have been nice. She does give me she kind of looks like toothpaste. Her hair does. I don't know, again, I was really excited to do cotton candy, but she did not execute her the way I feel like she could have been. So again, I will probably redesign her because she is not where I wanted her to be. But I did try to make her this like strawberry roan look because I feel like she's like she cooks a lot and does like a lot of pastry stuff. She's kind of like the Pinkie Pie of the bunch. But I did make more female ponies because I really want male ponies to have more representation than just Hitch Trailblazer. Love Hitch, but his design's boring and he feels out of place. So I did really push hard into my male ponies. I don't think their designs were the best. I think my female ponies had the better designs, but lacking wise, Cotton Candy lacks the most in her design. I feel like I might have rushed her design a little bit, and I should go back and definitely touch base on this design. I do like that I make her look like a roan, though. She does definitely look like a roan pony. And that is what I wanted. Because it gives more to her, but her color and coat with her mane and tail don't match like I thought they did at first, and I can't unsee it now. It's actually hurting my brain to look at her right now. So, sorry for making a pretty bad pony on this one. It's cute. She's just not what I wanted. Should have did her face the way I did the two other girls' faces instead of doing what I did. Look at her. Oh my god, she looks so bad. Ugh. I am so ashamed of her. She's so ugly. She's so ugly. My eyeballs, that burns to look at even just a little bit. Holy crap. Oh, thank god. Now, I did find some male ponies. I think there were 6 originally. I could be wrong, obviously. But I liked Fireball's idea, which I kind of gave him the Luster Dawn treatment. I liked Ice Crystal, because there hasn't been like a lead pony that's had that kind of design to it. Then Thundercloud. Thundercloud was almost Tornado because Oklahoma. So I wanted to almost make him Tornado for my home state, but I chose not to. But Thundercloud, he kind of gave me like early on, what's it called? Rainbow Bright kind of vibes. Nah, I'm telling you, I struggled hard with Fireball because at first he kind of just looked like a Sprout. I'm not gonna lie, he looked like Sprout really badly. So I did go in and change him up a bit. Kind of gave him a darker color. I struggled with him for a minute because I wanted to give him that Luster Dawn treatment with the hair that kind of looks like it's on fire. So I did choose this kind of like pinkish red for him. And I think he actually turned out really good. Fireball looks nice to me. I might change him, but I really like how his hair looks. His hair looks like it's on fire, and that's what I'm going for, Fireball. I feel like he is kind of like a more gentle than his name precedes him to be, but he definitely can be rough when it needs to be. That's what I think. I think Ice Crystal, though, is very more serious and kind of keeps the boys in line sometimes whenever they need a swift kick in the butt. I didn't want these ponies to be like descendants of the original main 6 because I just want them to kind of have their own feel to them. Yeah, I did change his colors up a bit. Kind of made him oddly vibrant blue. Again, with the toothpaste hair. What is with me and toothpaste hair? I think I stopped at the toothpaste hair. Please tell me I stopped at the toothpaste hair. It's nice of me. At least gave him purple eyes. Yeah, I did try that, didn't I? Yep. See, yeah, I feel like giving him kind of like treatment of paint horse right there would be a good idea. But I don't think Ice Crystal looks as I wanted him to. Again, that's why I'm a concept artist. These early designs can always be changed and redone. These aren't anything final, in my opinion. I feel like they could always be better. Made the boys pretty stocky, I feel like. Ice Crystal, I don't know if I would use him again if I redid this. I don't think I would use him. If I did, I would definitely change his design. Though Fireball and Thundercloud look the best. I felt like we have to have a purple boy. Something about him being purple was what I needed. Did at first give me Spyro vibes, so I almost made him look like Spyro. Good thing I did not. Struggled with his hair color a little bit because I didn't want him to look like Twilight or something like that. Still almost ended up looking like Twilight, but I think I got him to look like his own kind of pony finally. Goodness. This does sit for a second where there's nothing happening, but I promise you something happening. See, with the 2D lineless style, I don't fully color those back pieces in. I just kind of go with it as is, so it looks weird sometimes. But I think Thundercloud, so it's between Thundercloud and Fireball for me. Thundercloud's probably my favorite. Did struggle with his eye color for a second, but I think this kind of brightish blue really stands out against the purple deepness of his coat. This crystal's nice. I think he could have been better though. This is where I run straight headfirst into doing Starcatcher, thinking I can make it exceptionally beautiful. definitely should probably come back to look at this design. I don't think that any of these are something that like final design wise, but I think that they look pretty close to what a final could be. I would go back and redo a lot of what I did if I could, because just it needs something. Not sure what yet, but I'm sure the feedback from all help greatly. Sorry that this video is so long. I could have cut this up into parts and I just didn't. So I almost did give her makeup, but I felt like that was over the top on her design. She's already over the top. We don't need to be more over the top. But her hair and stuff, she's giving me candy vibes. Like I feel like her hair would taste like candy. Weird way. Um, yeah. I like how she looks. I think I did pretty well. Best design choice overall. I wouldn't say she's the best design choice I've had, but she's close. I don't think I would make her related to Flurheart because if I remember, I'm not absolutely sure. Don't let me be wrong, but I think that maybe Flurry she could be considered a Flurry, but I think that Cadence was somehow related to and Celestia, so I won't do that because I'm already making Sunstorm related to Celestia. I didn't come into this with a script, so of course it's kind of all. Sorry about that. Wasn't sure how to talk. a little nervous about doing this, but enjoying it nonetheless. Yeah, I think she came out pretty well. Now this I did struggle with the design, the chest piece and feet, which is why I think I lacked so much whenever I did Sunstorm, because I feel like I put so much effort into her that I kind of like half-assed it a little bit with Sunstorm, but still looks good somehow. It's not the worst thing I've seen, so that's good. And I almost did the like line art, and then I realized, oh crap, I'm doing lineless, so I did go back and redo that. I think I should have kept his wing this color. I did lighten it to his actual body color, and I really think I should have just made it dark. Though you guys can decide if you think I should have done that, but I don't think there's a lot of color choice sometimes with these alicorns, so I'm glad I went back and did this. I did kind of give his hair also the Luster Dawn treatment, but it made sense with him being like sun god kind of thing. Yeah, I love the big sun kind of spot that I did on him. Actually looks really good for him. Yeah, see, I don't know if I would have left his wings like that. I think I should have went back to putting them on dark. I feel like that would have looked better. And then I did jump over to the Bat Pony. Again, I did almost make her look like Daring Do. Just weird. I shouldn't have done that. But I think nonetheless she looks pretty good. I did go with this red. I just feel like there's not enough ponies with red on them, so enjoy the red. I did want them to be more bat-like than what I feel they were in Gen 4. I definitely should have made that hoof bigger. The front, she just looks like she has a tiny random hoof right there that's bothering. Can't see it. Sorry if I pointed it out. Some of you probably didn't notice it, and some of you probably did. But here's some concepts for her. I think she looks good though. I didn't put hair on that one. I don't know why. Then she's almost looked like Firefly, so I did change her color to be blue along with her hair. I did leave the bow yellow though. I didn't put too much effort into the wing because I don't want the wings to be the main focus of the flare pony, because I know that in the original they were just kind of made of magic for the wings. And then here's the sea pony. I don't color over the top of the other ones. I just work on her. I finish her, and I believe she's the last thing I work on. I could be wrong, but I believe she's the last thing I work on. Thought about putting more detail into her, but I didn't want it to be too much. I think she looked pretty good though. And then this is just me like thinking of like Skyros, like how does it work? And we have Cloudsdale and all that. And then I went back through and I really just tried hard to, I don't know, do something. But yeah, that is the whole thing in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe and see you next time. Bye.